Hello, my friends. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. If we didn't have the joy of meeting in May of 2017, my name is Steve Gamlin. Well, here we are in the midst of a challenge. Many of us are currently experiencing a period of isolation and disconnection like never before, and it can be difficult to navigate. Throughout my career as a speaker and as an author, my focus has always been the same. Find the positive, be the positive, and shine a light so that others who may be feeling lost or stuck in the shadows can take even small steps to get themselves to a better place. If this is your first time experiencing me and my style, here's a bit of housekeeping right up front. I do tend to speak fairly quickly, so you may wish to watch this presentation more than once. I do highly recommend having a pen and paper handy to jot down as many thoughts and ideas as you can, which you can put into action daily to help build yourself up to be a bigger, better, stronger version of yourself when we all get to go out and play again. Soon, I hope. I also use stories and humor quite often to help create a deeper impact with my lessons. So that's me in a nutshell. One of the biggest challenges for me as a speaker is the lack of connection that I love so much with people like you. Whether you're in the audience at an event or in the hallways or the lobbies of the buildings where we gather. Heck, I even miss having conversations at the post office and with random people at the grocery store. A big part of the work I do revolves around building vision boards as a way to determine what our goals look like as we're setting them for ourselves. Big ones, small ones, and all goal sizes in between. And one of the tools we use to help people understand just how many areas we have to consider is called a life wheel. And right now, one of the areas so many people are struggling with is connection. Believe me, I feel it too. I miss the face-to-face contact with my speaker colleagues. I miss my clients who work so hard, just like the family at the Brain Injury Alliance office, to put all the details together for events, to the hotel staffs who work so hard to make our events a success, especially the people who make the waffles and stack that bacon up so high in the steam table. You know what I really miss? I miss you. Smiling from your seats and sending great energy to me up on stage. That's connection. Right now, it's a little more challenging, and I want to share some other ways we can use as best we can to create substitute forms of connection right now. If you have access to social media, that's a great start. We have platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and so many more where we can share our thoughts and see the thoughts of others and communicate with them. Now, I do want to share this as a bit of caution. Some people out there use social media as a place to throw out some really negative stuff. Screaming and shouting and pointing fingers and blaming and generally trying to bring good people like you down. During a recent radio interview, I told the host that social media can be a lot like walking around barefoot and blindfolded in the backyard of a home which owns a really big dog who eats a lot. We can very easily step in something that doesn't smell very good, and it's hard to make that smell go away. So please stay focused. Please stay alert. Watch where you're stepping. That's all. While it can seem hard to avoid, I recommend keeping your interactions as positive as possible with as many other positive people as possible on social media. Also on the internet, there are podcasts you can listen to from some amazing people who can entertain you, inspire you, and even teach you new ways of seeing things. And sometimes the hosts of these podcasts just help you to feel connected, like a friend who gets you and is there to help you feel safe and cared for. In addition to social media, we have email and texting and even picking up the phone, dialing some numbers, and having a real conversation with someone whom you care about. Heck, I've even had fun when I've accidentally dialed the wrong number. And I also have a good time making telemarketers laugh when they call and try to sell me an extended warranty on my toaster, which I don't want. I've had more amazing phone calls with people in the past few weeks than over the past few months. Seriously. And it really feels good to just laugh and share some good energy. Sometimes my calls go to voicemail. So what I try to do is think of my favorite experience with that person or what I like the most about them. And I'll leave it as a message, usually laughing while I'm sharing it. And very often, you know what happens? Those people call me back and say, thank you. And then they ask, how did you know I needed that today? Please try that if you are comfortable, even just once. It can be a really simple task to bring happiness into your day and to share it with someone else. One of the questions that I love to ask people is this: what emotions do you want to feel on a daily basis? And most people say happy or happier. I love that answer, by the way. It is a good one. Lately, when I ask people which ones they're feeling most often right now, they say things like lonely, disconnected, isolated, sad, frightened, uninspired, restless, and funky. And not in a good James Brown kind of funky way. While I was preparing this presentation, I discovered some really powerful information shared by a positivity expert named Barbara Fredrickson, who's been studying positive emotions since 1998. In her 2009 book, Positivity, Fredrickson's research described how it can transform people's lives. Now, at the time, research showed an approximate 3-to-1 ratio of positive emotions to negative ones as being ideal in terms of high-functioning teams, relationships, and marriages. Fredrickson also explained how experiencing positive emotions to negative emotions in this approximate ratio, 3-to-1, leads people to achieve optimal levels of well-being and resilience, which can really help us right now. So what are some of the other positive emotions that you can intentionally take action to create and tap into? You can have hope by thinking of your favorite experience you're going to enjoy when we all get the green light to leave our homes. There is already a banana split out there at my favorite local ice cream place with my name on it. You can find amusement in something funny that you read or hear or see, whether it's in your own home or on the internet. You can feel awe in the beauty of a sunrise or a sunset, a beautiful flower in your garden, or some other thing that just makes your soul smile. You can feel pride in the progress you are making in your life and in the positive impact that you're able to have on the lives of others just by being you. You can enjoy serenity by tapping into the peaceful calm of your surroundings. Some people do this by meditation, others with relaxing music, and some in total silence. Now, I've owned a DJ company for 26 years. My ears ring way too loudly for the silence part. But I do have some favorite meditation practices which help me greatly. You can also benefit from building your gratitude muscles. And here's a challenge that I want to issue right now. For the next 7 days, I would like to challenge you to write down one really great moment from each day. That's right. Put pen to paper and write it down. I've been keeping a gratitude journal for 8 years. And every morning, I write down my 3 favorite moments from the previous day in less than 1 line each. Now, somebody once told me, I don't have time to do that. So the next day, I actually recorded myself doing it. It took 38 seconds. And believe me, I've even kept this practice going during some extremely challenging times in my life. But the way I capture and describe them always makes me smile when I read them back again, even years later. And some of them have been really silly. You may be grateful for the honk and wave you got from a neighbor who was driving by while you were sitting on your front porch. You may be thankful for the help that a team member at the Brain Injury Alliance provided, connecting you with a valuable resource or just listening with a smile. You may have experienced a joyful moment with your caregiver or family member, or you may just be grateful that your pancakes came out perfect today. Take that, IHOP. So there's the challenge. Just write down one thing you are grateful for each day for 7 days. Hang them on your fridge, tape them to your bathroom mirror, or make it the last happy thought you read before bed at night, or the first one when you wake up in the morning. And if you need a little extra smile some days, please read them back to yourself. One of my favorite things that I've learned from my experience with the Brain Injury Alliance of Arizona is the story of Butters and the difference that he was able to make for his family when his big brother Evan experienced a traumatic brain injury. Butters inspired people so much that a fund was created to help the furry and fuzzy friends of people who are undergoing treatment, getting stronger through rehabilitation and adjusting to a new normal. I've got a very special little guy who's been part of my journey for almost 11 years. He makes me smile. We have visited senior living facilities together. They adore him. And he's even written his own book about how people can be as happy as dogs. His name is Super Teddy. Super Teddy was a rescue from the streets of New Orleans in the summer of 2009, and my wife and her mom adopted him when he was brought to New Hampshire by an amazing rescue organization. Although I don't have time to share all 20 tips from his book here today, I'll share the ones that people have found very helpful over the years. We call them the Super Teddy Six-Pack. We'll start with the very first message he shares in the book. Never be afraid to start small. Wherever you may be in your journey as a survivor, as a caregiver, as a family member, or as part of the Brain Injury Alliance, Super Teddy and I hope you will recognize that you are in a place where you can start and make progress. Meaningful, important goals come in all shapes, sizes, and time spans. You are where you are right now. So what is your next step, your next goal, your next victory? You may be new to this journey, or you may have more experience. But please remember, we all start somewhere, and we build our muscles, our momentum, and our butt-kicking selves as we go. Oh yeah. But we have to make the decision to start and surround ourselves with the best people to have as part of our journey. Next is Chapter 6, in which Super Teddy reminds us, boo-boos happen. Get back in the game as soon as you can. Look, we all have setbacks. We all have days when we fall down, we fall back, we miss a step, we see a success we can't quite reach yet. Heck, right now, the whole world has a big boo-boo that we are working hard and waiting to heal. We're still here. We're still trying. Many of us are at home, and that is helping the healing. We'll be back. In Chapter 10, Super Teddy lets us know that sometimes you just have to let it all out. And in case you're wondering, as you look at this picture of a giant puddle in our driveway, no, Teddy did not pee that much. His bladder is tiny. Nobody's bladder is that big. What he means is this. Frustrations build up. Stress builds up. It's important for us to remember that we need to let it out sometimes. You can put pen to paper and get it all out that way. You could reach out to the Brain Injury Alliance office and speak with them. You can phone a friend and just talk. I've got a set of drums in my old recording studio that have been the victims of some of my best rhythmic stress releases over the years. Bottled up inside, that's not going to serve you for long. Please reach out. People care. In Chapter 15, Teddy's message is very important. Remember to celebrate all of life's little victories. However your life has been affected by traumatic brain injury, whether you are a survivor, a caregiver, a family member, or part of the Brain Injury Alliance team, I hope you understand the importance of celebrating every victory, especially the small steps. It's a lot like riding an old wooden roller coaster. The most exciting part of the ride happens after you reach the top of that first hill. And how do you get there? Little consistent clicks. Click, baby, click. That's one of the phrases that my vision board clients and I use whenever we celebrate our little victories. It helps us to feel like we are making progress, and it allows us to cheer each other on. In Chapter 18, Teddy reminds you to always leave your footprints so the world will know where you've been. Do you ever hear people in the brain injury community talk about past clients? People whom they've helped and people who have inspired them? People whose names are on some of the programs or have created grants and other ways to give back. That's what it means to leave your footprints. Be one of those people for future survivors and caregivers and team members. You know who's a perfect example of this? Butters the dog. Butters has most definitely left his footprints and paw prints on this organization. Be the person that people talk about years from now because of your strength, because of your positive attitude, because of the effort you make and the joy that you bring. Be like Butters. And the last chapter from Super Teddy's book that I want to share here today is actually the final one from the book. Sometimes a smile is all you need for the world to love you. It can be hard to deal with life sometimes. Some days it rains, some days the sun shines. Some days we're happy and some days we're sad and frustrated. But here's how easy it can be to bring some light to the world. We never know what other people are dealing with. And if we can bring a smile to at least one situation per day, we can make someone's day better, even our own. Right now, it can be a bit more challenging, but here's what you can do about it. Be upbeat, as positive as you can when speaking with someone on the phone. Remember, they're having challenges too. You can actually hear a smile. Did you realize that? And when you're able to get back out there, please remember to bring a smile with you wherever you go. Give one to someone else, even a stranger. You'll never run out. Most people love people who make them feel better just by being around them. You can be that person. It's not always easy, I get it. But when you do this and you do it on purpose with all your heart, the person it helps the most might be you. So, how can you begin to take small steps to bring genuinely positive changes to your life right now and be bigger, better, and more butt-kicking when we all get back to our schedules? If you think of this isolation as a time like a cocoon, what happens at the end of that process? Something beautiful. And I know it's very easy to feel disconnected right now and off our game. Social media can be a great way to be aware of what's happening around us. Please be careful, though, like I said earlier, where you step and who tries to sway your mood. Sometimes you just need to step away from that and unplug and find the good wherever you are. Wake up early and enjoy a sunrise. Open the window or sit on your porch and hear the birds singing. Listen to music that makes you happy. Or sit in silence and get in touch with your soul. Identify something beautiful outside your window in your yard every day. And if the internet feels like your best connection, just choose wisely. Listen to podcasts from positive people. Read articles on topics that inspire you. Watch videos that make you laugh or think or learn something or just help you to feel happy. I know things are different right now, but one big light that's shining for me is this. If it wasn't for the current situation, I would not have had the opportunity to share this time with you. And for that, I'm grateful. And for you, I'm hopeful. And to the entire family at the Brain Injury Alliance of Arizona, I'm joyful. Thank you so much for inviting me to share this time with you all. If you've enjoyed this conversation and you wake up tomorrow thinking one more positive thought, speaking one more kind word, especially to yourself, and taking at least one more positive action, we all win. And Super Teddy has something he'd like to share with you all as well. If you go to the webpage, www.superteddymax.com, you will see a place where you can click and get a free PDF download version of his entire book, including the 6 lessons we shared today, plus 14 more. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for investing your time here today. You matter. You really do. And I appreciate you very much. Please do your best to stay connected and remain positive and be a ray of hope for everyone around you. Be well.